Hey guys, welcome to the third match here with Blue-White Monument. Hey, good luck and have fun, buddy. Let's take a look at our opening hand here. It's a bit slow. Basically, if this is a creature-based matchup, Reflector Mages are going to be pretty good. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty bad. I'm going to keep, and we'll see what we can do here against our opponent. So they, it doesn't matter because they're fetching. But they scratch at the bottom. Watery Grave, Shock, Serum Vision. Okay, so this could be Esper Control, could be Esper Gorios, you know, because we faced it up last round. Could be a lot of things. Spell Queller, not a bad draw. I'm going to lead on Marsh Flats as well. And probably just fetch up a Hallowed Fountain. We'll see what our opponent's up to here. Okay, another. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even check how they scried. They went top bottom, so they drew a card they wanted. Let's see how they do it here. Probably to hit a land drop, maybe. Who knows? Because they did scry. They did mulligan to 6. Card on bottom, card on top. Okay, so they're going to be drawing cards they want, more or less. Never mind. They're fetching again, so it doesn't quite matter. So this could be a Thoughtseiz's effect here. If it is, yep, I'll just go ahead and crack the fetch and let our opponent do whatever they want to us. Okay, they get to see our hand here. So I imagine if this is some Esper Shadow kind of matchup, then Reflector Mage is going to be really strong here. Our Spell Queller is good too, but only if it's coupled with some Path to Exiles and stuff. So I think they're probably going to take one of the Reflector Mages here. Yep. Just as I expected. Alright, well there's a land. Let's just play a Hollow Fountain, take the least amount of damage as possible, and pass it back to our opponent. So yeah, when we kept this hand, we knew it was going to be pretty slow. We had a lot of tools to interact though, so yep, the opponent's going to do the thing again. And here comes the big bad Delve threat. Or Shadow. Either one. Yep, there goes our 2 Reflector Mages, so this matchup may have been different if we were on the play. But as it is, looks like they're going to get the drop on us. There's a Gurmag Angler. Pretty good card here. Reflector Mage would have been great, but let's go ahead and play an island because they do know about these 3 cards, but they don't know about these 2 planes that we've drawn. So basically, we're just going to try to Spell Queller just about anything here. Or we could say Spell Queller to fight over like a Stubborn Denial. Yep. I'm not going to run it out. There's no reason to. Now there might be a reason to have ran it out. I imagine if my opponent doesn't have lands, then they have spells. And the spells they have, if they're not discard and they're not draw spells, the only way they would be dead is Lingering Souls and or Snapcaster Mages. Okay, so we're not at this point yet where we're chumping Gurmag Angler. We may be soon, but we're not there yet. Yeah, it's gonna force it, right? Not necessarily. I guess it doesn't force it, although because they don't have Path up right now. Yeah, sure. Probably gonna take this Spell Queller. We don't have much, but if we can draw a Monument would put us right back in the game. We'd have plenty of chump blockers for Gurmag Angler. So Monument, definitely a card I will happily draw here. Judge's Familiar. So I guess we're on the beatdown plan, right? The race. It's a race. Race to the finish. Judge's Familiar is pretty good here. What we could do is we could block and bounce it back to our hand. And that way we save ourselves 4 damage. I like that. They know that it's a line available to me. See if they want to do anything in response here. So it's a when it enters the battlefield, so it doesn't target. So I can just do this right now. And they can't respond to me returning my Judge's Familiar, which is really interesting. It's when it enters the battlefield, the effect happens. You know, the trigger goes on the stack. They can't respond once I've chosen my, my target, even though it doesn't target. So it's weird. However, if our opponent plays a Death Shadow here, we're in a rough spot. Collective Brutality? Dismember. Oh. Well. Things went from good to very shaky. I mean, like, we're winning this race, right? So we just need some top decks here. I mean, it's a card. I'll take it. Put our opponent down, dead to one more hit. Yeah, Dismember is rough. It's a rough removal spell here in this position because we're pressuring our opponent's life total pretty hard. So I'm not gonna block here. Because if they play a Death Shadow, I mean, they play a Death Shadow. If they play another Delve Threat, they play another Delve Threat. That's fine. I'm not going to block here. Single remove spell that is not Dismembered does blow us out, basically. Yep, they'll do it right now. Sure. And it's a land. Now we can't attack, of course, because we have to block. And now if they have one more removal spell, or just a land, yeah, I'm not sure there's any series of draws here. All right, yeah, you got it. Okay, all right. Reassess. Path. Blessed Alliance. Celestial Purge. Rest in peace. This is the matchup we came prepared for, right? This is it. This is our moment. Wall of Omens is just okay here. Not great. Generates a ton of value for sure. But outside of that, we can cut a few Spell Quellers. They do play Path to Exiles, Fatal Pushes, plenty of fetches. Sky Hussar might be a little slow, so we'll cut 1. Monument is good. Monument is very good here. Reflector Mages are also going to be very important. Let's cut. Well, Spell Queller is not horrible, right? Just because they have removal doesn't mean it's a bad card. But we saw Dismember. Dismember is just a really also an efficient way to deal with it. Okay, let's cut down to 3. Cut 1 Judge's Familiar. And let's just be a lean deck. Yes, we'd like to play first. Let's take a look at our opener here. We have tools. We have tools to win. We got Dusk Dawn to clean up the board. We have Squadron Hawk on turn 2. We have tools. I'm going to keep. And if our opponent leads off of a draw spell, it's going to be the best for us, I think. Because next turn we play land, play Squadron Hawk, and then we can have a bunch of flyers. Alright, well, it looks like we're getting Thoughtseized to start us off. And my guess here, unless they have another discard spell in hand, they are probably going to take the Monument. However, yeah, alright, so it looks like Squadron Hawk is a good pick, because that's a card that gets us a ton of kind of extra value. Okay. And he plays. Not exactly. Okay. We got a lot of blue sources. So we drew the one of the worst cards we could have drawn in our deck right now. Like, there's a reason we went down to one copy. But that's alright. It only feels extra bad because we don't have blue mana. Otherwise, it's definitely not a bad card. What you got? You got double discard spell? Take both of my monuments? They might have it. They definitely could have it. I would not put it past Esper Shadow. Yeah, they got double black mana to start it off. Okay, Death Shadow. Okay. I mean, not like okay, but like, okay, you know? I've seen worse. Alright, now we just gotta hope they don't have a way to destroy the monument, right? Because that would put us in a really bad spot. If they have a fetch land here, how bad of a position are we in? We're getting hit for 8? Potentially more? That does put them in Dusk Dawn range, but however, they could have Stubborn Denial. I wonder how many they kept in a matchup like this. Thought Scour targeting themselves, sure. Discards Dismember Marshflats. Inquisition, okay, so there goes our creature, which we kind of needed for the monument. With that said, it also means we're not getting hit for too much here, right? Now we're getting hit for 2? I mean, sure. Like I said, I've seen worse. Interesting. So they're not shocking, which makes me think they don't have Stubborn Denial. Alright, Plains. Come on, deck. Come on. We got the engine going, don't we? This is good. We're fine here. Like, next turn, a Snapcaster Mage Thoughtseize? That would really hurt. But if they're not doing that pre-combat, I imagine they don't have it. Ring Souls? Yeah, that's rough. Just no way for us to really deal with anything they're doing because we don't have any plays. So maybe I cut too many Wall of Omens. Maybe Wall of Omens is... Oh, come on, deck. Come on. Show me some love here. It's not how I was planning this matchup to go down. Yeah. Yep. They can literally just beat us with 1/1s here. I mean, especially because we can't make Westvale Abbey yet. I feel like White Mane Lion is a pretty good draw for us. We have a lot of decent draws, right? I mean, like, even like a Blessed Alliance. Target opponent gains 4 life. Like, that wouldn't be so bad. Their opponent flashing back Lingering Souls? Ooh, Gurmag Angler. Okay. We may be forced to use Dusk here. because that puts a lot of power. Is that 5? That's lethal on the board. So let's first start with Serum Visions and see if we can maybe claw our way back in. Does that do it? That kind of does it. Do we need to Dusk right now? So I want to go ahead and do this right now when they don't have an opportunity to kill my white main lion in response to returning it into my hand. Okay, and now we have blockers, and we're not dead. And if they want to attack with their Death Shadows, then they're going to have to lose life some way. And if they lose life, then we can try to get them with Dusk Dawn. And if they don't use life, we can try to get them with Reflector Mage off the top. Now, these Lingering Souls are still a problem. I think Ormondal is going to be our plan for Lingering Souls. Which may have been a reason to keep a land on top. Didn't I scry a land to the bottom? Yeah, that might have been a mistake. I didn't think too far ahead. Because we're definitely taking at least 4 here. Our opponent's like, okay, I can use some removal on them here. And then I'll be forced to chump. Like, he could have us dead here at this point. Like, removal spell, fetch, shock. We have to block Gurmag. Take 4... 8, 12. Like, yeah, removal spell, shock. Fetch, shock kills us. Otherwise, that's it, huh? Interesting. Another Lingering Souls would... Okay, that's backbreaking. That's close to lethal. Yeah, we're gonna go to 1. I'm gonna hope to draw a land. So we can sack all of our buddies to go ahead and Reflector Mage. I don't think it's worth Reflector Maging one of the spirits at this point. I think that doesn't quite do it anymore. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, we could bounce Reflector Mage twice? No, we can't. We can only do it once. Right. Do we want to do it now, though? Is there a reason to do it now? I'll do it now, just in case. I mean, yeah, they're probably holding up a Path to Exile. Alright, they want to path it in response. Yeah, looks like it. Which gives us a land here. Which means Westvale Abbey is online. Oh, unfortunately... Oof. Will that do us in? That may get us. Right? Because we'll have to block one of these Death Shadows. Have to. Well, we'll hope that they don't want to make that attack. We'll hope that they're sitting on Gurmag Angler plus Dead card. Interesting. Is that a reason I should have done an instant speed? That could be a reason I should have done an instant speed. So I could have used Reflector Mage as a blocker before I put it back into my hand. Okay. Okay, so the thing is, they used Path to Exile now? So it's so likely they have a Snapcaster Mage. So likely. Yeah, we can't do anything about this attack. I think Ormondal is our only real play next turn. Because we're dead any which way we cut it, so... If they've got the snap path. Before we finish this, what's up, buddy? Oh man, what are the chances? More Delver? I'll do my best. I'll do my best for more Delver. So, something tells me this Ormondal is not long for this world. We tried though, right? Yep. Path to Exile. Good old Path to Exile. You got me, you got me. Esper Shadow does what Esper Shadow does, right? Alright, well, that was quite a game. And we got to see a fan in here, which is great, great. Hopefully you can comment once you watch this video. But yeah, so we were able to beat 2 grindier matchups, and then we kind of lost in this more, still kind of mid-rangey matchup, but we just couldn't get rolling quite fast enough. So let's talk about that in the closing statements very, very soon. What's up, guys? Welcome to the closing statements. Just to start, I want to first of all talk about my Patreon page. If you like the content that you saw over these past 3 matches and the deck tech and anything you've seen on my channel at all, please do consider subscribing on Patreon or donating, or any way that you see fit. I really do appreciate it. All money that I get from that subscription will go towards making this channel be as best as it possibly can be, either going towards getting new equipment or buying cards on Magic Online, all that sort of thing. So please do check that out. I'll leave it in the description below. And moving on, I do want to say that our very first patron, my very first patron, name is Dylan, and he did vote for what deck I would be doing for the next Under the Microscope series. And at the time, I had Jeskai Delver and Esper Mentor as the options. But then I saw this deck, and I hope you're not too upset, Dylan, that I decided to go with this deck rather than Esper Mentor. But I will definitely get an Esper Mentor video down the line. And also shout out to Dylan for being our very first patron. I will keep giving him a shout out in the ends of these videos, because that is part of the rewards or the perks you get for subscribing. That's just one of them, though. You can also vote on what decks I play next and things like that. So please do check that out. Anyways, moving on, let's talk about the deck itself. I actually really liked it. As much as I could like a deck like this. So what I mean by that is, it seems like a great deck if the metagame only had tier 2 decks in the format. With that, like, you can compete with the tier 2 decks because you're grinding, you're doing these things that take maybe turn 5, turn 6 to really take control of the game, and you're not doing much in the early game. So I think overall, I don't think this deck is ever going to make it ever past tier 3. And I mean that because tier 1 is too fast, it's too aggressive, it's too powerful. Even Esper Shadow is not tier 1, but it embodies a lot of what tier 1 is, and you saw that we just couldn't keep up with discard, discard, a couple bad draws, but that can happen sometimes. So you need to be able to win with what you got. And what we had was just not good enough. Catcher's, I had the idea that a catcher's monument is going to be kind of like Dice the St. Traft, where, you know what? When you have it, it's great, so it doesn't matter if you're running 3 or 4 copies. That's not the case at all. It feels so bad in multiples. So I can definitely understand why there's 3 and not 4 here. Because, yeah, you can land an Catcher's Monument and you can feel like you're on top of the world, but if you land an Catcher's Monument and you still have 2 other Catcher's Monuments in your hand, and you got no gas, nothing, it doesn't generate any card advantage on its own, so it can feel really, really bad, as you saw. So what are some of the things that I really liked about the build? First of all, White Man Lion synergy with a Catcher's Monument is awesome. Being able to just generate a ton of tokens at the end of your opponent's turn has just been great. Also, the fact that it can bounce Reflector Mages, Spell Quellers, and things like that, Wall of Omens, you can grind your opponents out. I think definitely the main issue here is the lack of ability to interact with your opponent. Not sure why we're not running the full playset of Path main deck. I think it's such an important card to be able to keep up with your opponents these days. I understand you can clog up the board and chump and win through combat, things like that. At the same time, Path to Exile is such a good removal spell. I would play 4 in my next iteration. Where I would find room for that, I'm not sure. Maybe play 1 Dusk Dawn because yeah, it's great against some decks. It's also just nearly completely dead against other decks. Even if you just pay 4 mana, then pay 5 mana, that's 9 mana to return maybe like 3 or 4 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. And a deck that's been able to send all your creatures to the graveyard probably has a way to stop you from casting the other side of Dawn. Usually. Not always, but usually. Overall, I think this deck folds pretty hard to disruption in the form of Thoughtseize. I think it really relies on landing in a Catcher's Monument because on their own, these little critters, not too great, You don't have Burn to close out the game, so Spell Queller is not exactly, a beatdown machine. Reflector Mage is cool against against Shadow and other Delve threats and things like that, but outside of that, it's not great. So running 4 Reflector Mages, it's sketchy. It's sketchy because it can be a very dead card in a lot of matchups. Sky Hussar, I would say, is the card that impressed me the most because once you got into the grind, Sky Hussar absolutely takes over the game. You're not only getting 1/1 tokens every turn, but you're drawing an extra card on every turn. Sometimes 2 cards every turn if you have 2 of them. So overall, I think this deck definitely has, power to beat what's out there in the modern metagame. I can't say with, all my heart that it's a deck that I would play competitively. I think it has a lot of work. The fact that it 5-0'd a league is amazing, actually. And I think that that's something that should be worked on and furthered more and more. I don't think I'm the kind of person that can do that, but it definitely has something to it here. Definitely has something to it. But like I said, I think it's just a little too fragile to some of the best Tier 1 decks in the format right now. So with that said, that's my latest Under the Microscope series. I hope you liked it. I hope this was able to expose you to a new type of deck that's out there right now. And it's a really cool deck, and does a lot of fun things. But overall, it falls a little short for the expectations of Modern, in my opinion. But with that said, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you liked the video, please leave a comment. Please like it, subscribe, all that good stuff. I really would appreciate that. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for some more videos coming up either later this week or next week. See you soon.